Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on who say you're in the world. We dey bring greetings Cantona once more from the Unifier Hour. My name is Navalda Kaikai. I'm the host of the program. Um, as usual, we una don't log in for listen to we. I dey ask una all say please make una share the link we una use for login. But as usual, we also dey on all the various social media platform them. Una can catch we on YouTube, una can catch we on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, LinkedIn, and we get number there. So una can call in. We get a WhatsApp number when a +232 75052135. And then we get a number where anybody where they out in North America and Europe can reach we at +1 778 732 2180. Once more, I want to say welcome to una all and thank you for joining us again. I want to introduce we panelists. Today we get na the studio Mr. Usman Kamar. Mr. Usman, come on and say hello to we viewers and listeners.
Hello, family. Ona kushe, how we do? I'm glad for you tonight again today at the Unifier Hour.
And we get Mr. James Hallowell. Mr. Hallowell, come on and say hello.
Family Duo, we're there again today, the Unifier Hour, and we welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, as usual, we go straight into the questioning. Me panel, I just want for ask una something, from una own background knowledge, una na Sierra Leone there like me. We know say education as alone not always don't be waiting we want for let it be. Especially we they out, we don't see a lot of different ways where we can look at the education system and see room for improvement. In your own point of view, waiting at some area there now we education system, we can use some TLC, some tender loving care. I will start with Mr. Usman Kamar on this.
Well, Val, I'll tell you, thank you very much. Will you allow me to start in terms of education? Remember, education is very, very vital to the development of human capital. So if you want, ask me as a Sierra Leonean, and also somebody will love education, will support education as Sierra Leone. In fact, right now, with the build school in my village, I don't support education for the past 17 years. We're picking an academy school for free. There's no fees. We need a little bit of TLC. We get education, but we don't get quality education in all aspects. The infrastructure, some of them are deplorable. Toilet facilities, computer science labs. I can go on and on. Some structured, and especially in the provinces. If you go and see some schools, recently I was in a village where the classroom, literally there were holes, rat holes in classroom. I have to donate 10 bags of cement for them to pave that classroom so that the kids will not have a mice or rat come out of the hole while they are in class. So we need a lot of infrastructure, need a lot of rehabilitation, we need a lot of things that we for make education system quality. This is just a little tidbit I touched on.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kamara. I'll go ask Mr. Hallowell for respond to that question there also.
Yes, Madam Kakai. The reality here is education, one of the sacred legacies where colonialism left Givi. And if you watch them, the only thing that they will able hold on to, we don't able move we to other levels or other heights. And as such, a fine will continue for guard them, we find way for improve them, we protect them in such a way that it will continue for benefit not only we, but even we succeeding generations. But just like how me bother me the try for talk it talk about the structure, it talk about the nature of the schools themselves, all of them things, and they get problem. But there is one important aspect where all we watch than the instruction. Education instruction as alien gets series of problems. It gets series of challenges. What I mean by instruction or now the learning aspect itself, both the teaching and learning aspect itself, then they get serious challenge. And I feel to say over the years, what we don't effect for improve, even though we dey work on the curriculum, but it seems as if we much more the focus on school enrollment. We focus on for try for get more structures, access to education for put them for put education at the rural areas, let schools and day, now then communities or then remote then villages them. But we not do much yet about the teaching and learning aspect of education. And that is very, very much paramount. Now then they don't make today, picking another able then they start school. By the time you look at the school enrollment will begin for a particular academic year. After 5 years, if you come back, you find out say it don't significantly drop. A lot of dropouts or school abandonment don't happen. Beaucoup young people they don't left school, they're not able to continue. Instead, you will see them now at PZ, then go in at them in quote forward or how you call them, then lorry pack them, then they sell the. If you watch them, most of them are your classmates who I mean begin school together. You see, and then again, teacher education in standard don't so drop that I lecture for 3 years. Now one pandemic training colleges thing. And I tell you some of the experiences they will get. I mean, deeply worried about whose kind teacher this particular person will make and what he will able to go. Of course, we don't know say because of the standards of the teaching learning process don't drop. So what will happen again? We don't resort to this spine, a lot of spine. And within our teaching learning process again, while we examine, we look at
Sorry, Mr. Hallowell, I don't want to break your train of thought, but I just want to ask you for clarify for the audience so to all man understand what you really refer to as spying.
Oh, that na cheating.
Cheating. Okay.
Academic malpractice or education malpractice, examination malpractice. Now, dandy, nine at this fine. That, truly speaking, I have experiences where they give me money, but I tell them, I say categorically, I say no, that would be an affront. So even new efforts I make for it to this level, that I can't take money from students for go sit down tomorrow in front of me and it's by now. If there is a way I can help you, that's why I'm here. But no, I don't think say it right for me for whole money. Then I allow you go see those right inside the examination hall. Then you spy. It's completely wrong. And we are of that even to the West African Examination Council. They don't get series of problems and academic malpractices now. The righteous they suffer for the wicked and get for the stop seized people the result whether you know about it, you don't know all of them things and you get some huge problems with education at Sierra Leone and more so with the teaching learning process and a whole education segment we need for the watch until it is upgraded until they improve am. We education standard will still they done. We go still they behind.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hallowell. Now something that they way actually have been they look into, because when you look the standard of education in Salone, me I grew up in Salone in the 70s and 80s, so I know the kind education way I get. Then I they see some of me family them picking them, within they write to me even just text message, the level of spelling, I can wonder, I say wait till now something they miss something. But anyway, I read one report where they say now the government school census report, and one of the things that we are see they then list say 50% of pre-primary school then now being unapproved schools. In other words, they not get the proper licensing for practice as an educational institution in the country. There also let's say 30% of primary schools now being unapproved schools, and 48% of the junior secondary school there now being unapproved schools, and 23% of the senior secondary school there now being unapproved schools. With this kind high, I mean 50%, 48%, 30%, and 23%. We then kind high percentage they are of school day we unapproved. And they wonder waiting na the standards where then they hold. Let me start with the educator them too. As far as you know, are there any standards in Sierra Leone for educators? And if their standard then they exist, how and when will they see them enforced for ensure say the pikin they will go enroll now all the school they way they don't allow for run, how then they ensure say them pikin then they actually get the education within the enroll at the institution then they for. I will start with Mr. Hallwell on this one.
Yes, Madam Chair. You get a point now. Looking at the standards, looking at the unapproved schools, how then they affect the standard of education, and not only the standard of education, but also they look at, if we go another step further, go and look at the outcome where it can make. You make a member me that they are member Miladina me late principal and founder of the United Methodist Secondary School in Makini. And I remember we don't fight all along when they established the school, and they fight for make sure say the school become approved. So where you they talk about this thing, it ring a bell. And standard schools, approved schools, these are schools them way government don't approve, and at least then they get some amount of subsidies. Unapproved schools, they're not they get full subsidy, but I think they get some amount at the time. I still really need for grease me head on that issue. But the reality here is one mistake with them they don't begin grab. I'm not there, to a child. Well, I'm not in there at the 70s, but the 80s. I mean, the fit to say government if we don't able put in a very robust mechanism where for don't address this issue of approved and non-approved schools, because we see now how they affect the standard of education and a lot of things, and it even affect not only the standard but even students themselves. At the end of the day, what's in the commodity? We get students that we spend years 7, 5, or 6, 3, 3, 4. Then come out at the end of the day, they're not even able to write good English, just like I said. Look at the text messages they wouldn't send. Look at them can get some WhatsApp messages they wouldn't send, then they ridicule English language. But I always say not to English language, they show self. So these are the reality, these approved, unapproved schools. I remember it was a fight. And I'm fit to say from 10 years and they take to now, from the 80s state to now, we suppose we don't get a mechanism easy in place, where for able to say, where for no schools the way approve, schools they will not approve, how the requirements or standards where schools and they meet for let them become approved schools. Again, to be truthful here, is we get standards. We're not going to just put everything down. There are standards where they exist. But how many of we go, because they exist in the form of the policies, rules, and regulations, some of them they. But they don't can be say, especially some people in the established schools, not to for align the intention with the goal of public education. but now for monetary purposes. We don't see people that establish schools, sitting accommodation all day, now grown picking in the sit down, textbook they all day. Yeah, we don't see them. And we don't even social media, it was widely circulated. I tell you, start getting non-profit. Oh, they try for work on something on education, and we did on that. You see, so all of them pictures and then motivate we for find way as to how we can able help some schools. You see, so the reality here is the rules and the standards and but unfortunately, we not get we not get people for understanding standards there, or everybody for understanding standards there and abide by them. And then a problem for government because they're supposed to forget inside the Ministry of Education, you get forget the inspectorate unit. One no say them they exist. You get the district inspectorate, them where them they exist for monitor education or the implementation of education policies now at the district level. Do they still exist? Then they get all the I mean no say identity and them in constraint, not to everything them they get. You see, so the standards are there, but now everybody understand them. No, some man know the goal of public education. No, they know what we're supposed to do for make sure say the picking them then gets the required instructions way for able to help them for let them understand before they move to another level or other class. So these are all questions that we actually, truly speaking, given who we are, we're not supposed for the struggle events here, but unfortunately, right on to the 21st century, we still struggle with them.
Thank you so much for your submission there. Mr. Usman Kamar. Awale say from
Yes,
small
Valda,
business.
you remind the question again in terms of standards, you say, right?
Yes, I mean they talk
No,
say
no,
with
yeah,
such a high number of unapproved
yeah.
schools,
Hmm.
how then we they
Well,
follow and I guess police the education standards? How will they know? Say all of them school they actually provide the education where the students the way they enroll they look for who that they regulate, who that they watch, who that they make sure say the
well,
educator them. Now then I want to focus first on the educator them. The
well,
educator
suppose
then actually able for provide the education where the beginning they can enroll for.
well, supposedly that a very broad question, Dande, and you can take them from different angle. We
Yeah.
can start with private schools or
Mm-hmm.
public schools,
Mm-hmm.
rural schools or urban schools, and also demand and supply. There are many children, school-age children, that are in locations where there is a need for a school, but government or private person don't ever start them school and they. So maybe the local man or the local person or the local or the one getting educated person at that village or that town say, well, I start school. And he is not even qualified because you know go train as an educator, you know, get any training. So he just say there is a need, there is a demand and supply here. And we need for educate them picking, we need for occupy them picking here because they're idle. So it go create maybe a dominion, so to speak, under the tree. All right.
Mm.
and and because of the demand, I believe say the government who is in charge of seeing that education is free and quality don't have enough resources to even go monitor then school year. Because as far as they're concerned, then they meet a need. Okay.
Mm.
So with that, you find out say Boku thing they go wrong because the institution where they're in charge not get enough resources for monitor, not even go to the community here for build schools. Now, in 2021, right, the free quality education start, where I go say it's free, but it's not quality. Now, it increased the number of enrollment. Now they have problem with schools. There's no infrastructure. So you find out, say, people that want can school, but there is no school, right? So people then begin create school under the tree, they begin create school inside whatever, and the environment not conducive for learning. So you find out, say, the standard, now the demand and supply, and the resources from the ministry for monitor or evaluate or go after than here. Because they make something free and free. It's a free and quality. It is free, but it's not quality. I can tell you that. Now, because if it was, Lord put it this way, yeah. How many of them picking them, they go to them school and they right now in a salon? I go stop so.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mege. Well, I still want to stay on that trajectory there a little bit, because I want now for make we look. You actually make some really good points. You raise the idea of the social and the social need of a gathering place for children, where we go, where then they use for maybe channel their extra energies into a bit more constructive, a bit more productive means, where they make, people then go build school or create a school, whether there's a building or not. And on the one hand, yes, it meet a need, but on the other hand, it sounds like anything we then do haphazardly, it bound for exacerbate any existing problems. So I want to talk about the actual physical structures of the schools. How adequate are the school buildings for serve the student population where they attend? I know say the standard then go vary um, a lot between the Freetown Western area and as you they go further into the provinces. But let me talk a little bit about Dande. When you think about the education conditions where the Pekin then they be subject to where they go land. I mean, for let person land, your mind get for day on waiting that they teach you. So let me talk a little bit about the education conditions. And I want to go back to Mr. Hallowell on Dande.
Yeah. The education conditions in Sierra Leone, well, normally, I can always say they're not conducive. Starting from the nursery school, women know if I they use the Sierra Leone education system, from nursery school to university. I begin me education at Sierra Leone. I would do me not go nursery, I just primary school. I go, then I go secondary school. I go to a teacher training college. When I meet him, a guy, I go for big college before I left for can study abroad. And not conducive. Just like you talk especially in terms of the structures. Now Sierra Leone, we only care forget a raised building with roof over the head. But any other
Equipment,
system, equipment, even furniture,
supplies.
yes, way for aid the learning process for the pupils then. At some point it can be completely or non-existent. In fact, they can't tell you. I don't make reference, and people already agree. They listen to this program, and one for the two, they will tell you say some schools not even get sitting accommodations. Some schools them the classroom and they in a very poor shape. Some schools and if you go there, you see them, you go ask, you say who's kind of learning where they take place now.
Mm.
You see, so a lot you look at the environment. Some schools and they right in the center of a market. How learning they take place now, them place in there. Some schools and they water completely non-existent. Students then get health problems. Schools are not able to provide school clinic like the time when they come up, the school get school clinic. When there's a problem, you go there, then they help you. But unfortunately, now before the war, in fact, that system it don't collapse, it non-existent. And only tap the me fortunate for going to school, where then they give me all the textbooks then. In St. Francis, I got all my textbooks then what I want. But in some other schools, it was non-existent. So if person they go for go land, you not get access to equipment, sitting accommodation, laboratory, and facility, all anything that they're absent. Tell me whose kind students will you want for be at the end of the day. You know, whose kind students you they try for produce. You know, one minute they will be the laugh self, no wonder most of we they end up in the art stream. Not that we don't want to go to the sciences, but it's all about reading, reading, reading. You don't get any practicals what you do, although some schools may do some practicals. But majority of the schools, because of the lack laboratory equipment and lack laboratories, what happen? Most of the students and they go for the arts. And we then secondly admit say the arts, even though it's not favorable for them, but yet still they not get access to learning or learning resources them where for able help them for let them at least or introduce them to the sciences and move them to another level. So as I say now, if we say they list all them problems and they with the thing now, there is problem with the structure, resources, all of these things. Then basically very few schools, and some private schools get some of them facilities.
Thank you, Mr. Hallowell. Mr. Kamar, I will let you say Rob small pandis. Waiting you don't observe foresee for what you don't witness with in terms of the education conditions we picking in the subject to where they go school.
Valda, it is sad and also it is deplorable. Deplorable la breaking down. And not conducive la breaking down. Yeah. The situation where we get in this country, most picking them, maybe if I'm not mistaken, statistically, 50% or 60% they go na a school where not even supposed to be a school in terms of structure, in terms of resources, in terms of the environment, like we say, the sitting accommodation and the floor, the wall, the window, the ventilation, the lighting. If you go name these things, we're going to make a proper learning environment they in many of the schools in Sierra Leone. From we don't tell them want to go to school in Salon. We all know, right? And even to this day, that's why you have the private schools and the public schools. And the private schools, some go advertise, say we get computer lab, we get a science lab, all of these things for attract the students, right? Because most of the public schools, it's non-existent. We're not getting here again. I remember when maybe they go to school now, you get science lab, you able to go science here. Now they talk about computer age. You get schools that where they established now, secondary schools, beginning not ever touch a computer, let alone see one, So they don't even know what is a computer. And if you want to compete, now these times, you have to know a computer. So you talk about conditions. It's deplorable. It's bad. It's not encouraging at all. That's why most of these guys who are ahead, their children don't go to the schools. Instead, they'll send them to a private school or send them abroad. Okay? The local person will not get the money, affordability for send them picking. Then they go to under the tree, maybe pan body, hold them a gun. Then when they can, they soak. They pick not get bench for sit down. Then blackboard and they write pan a chalkboard. Where then go wait and call. Teach yourself, you not get resources, you not get book, you not get textbook. I mean, some of these things, it's enormous. I mean, don't get me wrong. The government, they try according to what they go try, but they can do more than what they do. Because they can get government supplied books when they send out to schools. But it's not enough. Now when they get lecturer, they will make pamphlets. Or a teacher will make pamphlet, beginning they buy the pamphlet, then they go photocopy them. Because there's no resources, there's no textbooks. All right. So you find out, say, the condition of learning a salon. Pass you where God don't say you go learn, or we really want learn. But it's discouraging. And most picking them, then they come out quit out of school because they're not going to a conducive environment. And it's not encouraging, right? And the condition is not good. Now, one few schools, like I said, you get the urban schools and you get the rural schools, where the rural schools are even more deplorable, right? And you get the private schools and you get the public schools. The public schools that the government run schools were free but not quality, So it's free. Then get book admission. But sometimes they turn the picking away safe because teacher maybe not they can save. You understand? Or place away for sit down, bench already. Or the ground then get hole. Wait till me don't see. The classroom not paint, window not day, the place warm, light not day, the beginning see well, the desk not there for right. Maybe not then 4 or 5 now one bench. You understand? How could you learn? And we talk about spying. How you not go spy? If me not study, I sit down on my body, in the study, and I will three sit down at the same table, and it long at my neck. I mean, you make the environment for the particular look because you give them that then 3 per one bench. You know, so I'm not saying you to justify that, but it's really sad. Some situations are created by the system itself.
Yes. Yeah, no, enough funny. I mean, I giggle, but enough funny at all. Because when you look picking there, you they see 3, 4, 5 picking and sit on a one bench, then they all they right inside their lap. Not a good situation down for anybody for able for learn. On top of that, I want touch small on one of the area there when part of the underbelly of we education system na salon. And then away teacher the young students, teacher the man teacher them mostly, the young the woman there. Me, I go school na salon. And no class no the way I sit down. I don't talk about primary school. From where I reach from one. No class no the way I sit down with teacher no yarn me. In fact, when I reach Form 6, maybe in the science. When I reach Form 6, me biology teacher, me chemistry teacher, they all too tell me say, especially the biology teacher, tell me say, me not get for passing class if I not keep them. Pass what I throw there. Now tell I say the day where they take exam for you, I get anything less than 90. You get me permission for give me 0. Because I've been smart. Thank God for that. So when you teacher tell you say you not go pass in class, pass you keep them. And you not to passing, me, I tell God, thank you, God bless me with brains. Thank God for that. But what if me not been then one day we need for study very hard for able for succeed? Then I don't do me on end of the bargain. I don't study. I don't put in the hours. I come. I do me best effort. Sometimes I score 75, 76, 80. The teacher rogue me because I not really do with time. How this they affect we education na salon, especially for girl picking them. And I want to go this, I go through and first to Mr. Usman Kamar.
Well, Valda, the statement you make, probably your own example speaks volumes, right? But there are not many Valdas. Maybe you will stand up like that. And another condone, first of all, like crime, not a crime. Okay? It's a criminal offense, and whoever is involved should be prosecuted, right? And that should be made known because if this teacher go to teacher training school, he knows say what he is doing a criminal offense, right? Now the beginner will need to be educated, know say when a teacher confronts you with such things, if you report them, it's a loss in job. And make the system there in place wherein then go make sure then discipline then teacher and they will take advantage of the situation. Because you're not a teacher and the person you pray on them and exchange you wait and call because of it's really bad. And you self don't talk them. So not today then don't start. Yeah. But if there's no policies in place where they discourage that and the kids are not taught that you have a right. You have a right to report this, and nothing will happen to you, but that teacher will be penalized or expelled from the school, right? But again, when you look at the system and look at the policies and look at the school and the standard of the school, who's at the beginning going to complain?
Exactly.
Would I go take them seriously? Let me be honest with myself, right? The headmaster, the principal, maybe the principal, then the first one would begin a nonsense then they. So how the teacher not go continue that? You know, and how who's going to go report? You understand? I wish we can educate to begin enough for no say you have a right to report when these things happen to you. Come home, tell your mama, tell your daddy, and letting mama and daddy go home, go and talk to them back, you know. But again, these are things the kids need to be trained. The beginner need to be educated in their right as a student. The teachers need to be trained, which some of them are, and they do the entire way wrong, and they know within themselves that what they're doing is wrong. So if somebody confront them, trust me, they will change, or they will set 2, 3 examples, then they will left.
Thank you, Mr. Kamara. Mr. Hallowell.
Yeah, that reminds me. I think there is this Hands of Our Girls program in Sierra Leone. I wish that can be extended to the schools. But however, you mentioned a very important point. That's true. We get teachers them way then your objective for learning and for look for among the school picking them and make sure so they get their own and do misuse whichever way then one misuse them. We completely wrong. And then they affect picking them because we get picking them way equally common from very poor homes, but then determined for land. They see education as an opener for them. And we don't see how women in Sierra Leone, because of their education, how then they don't lift them to higher heights. And they don't even help for raise family out of poverty.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if this teacher not able to give that student chance and able to give that genuine opportunity for other students in self-chatting your own way, right up the ladder or the social and economic ladder, it don't affect our students in future for life. You see, but just like how Mege talker, some of them things here, or this particular act, now it go against the rules for education, even as Sierra Leone. And something has to be done, not for just look at. It don't say where it happen. It don't become practice. And only now the schools, it pass through right through the education system, even go universities. That's how you get lecturers or professors there, date the students, give them free marks. And so even some students, because of the know that when they come, and for just find way for attract the lecturer and make sure say and get connected. Because if they see say the education system if I go the other way. So I think say if there are rules and regulations within in place, the need for be strengthened. But again, I want to ask, how many teachers then? How many teachers then they don't try? How many teachers then the law don't prosecute for then act there? I'm not sure. I'm not able to see one. I'm not ever look for one. So meaning people then will look the law with the other eye. But again, for some and take them for be very serious, that will able help for open the future of many of we young guys that will come up. So that at the end of the day, they will genuinely go school, work hard, become educated, and be somebody way for able to help them tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you so much. That means, there's a whole lot of room for improvement in this area. Um, you know, I just remember something where you've been they talk, Mr. Hallowell, because I remember say there was a joke where been they go around where people let me they talk say, especially we would travel in the 80s, go abroad. People let me they talk say anytime you see man, get fine woman, check. Not being the woman in teacher. And you know, I giggle the first day I read Andy, but when you think about dancing Andy, it just they show the far-reaching effects of this kind underbelly of the education system in Salon, and the fact that it seemed like they don't allow them for continue unrestrained, no cause of redress, no the picking they no get much hope. Somebody like me, honestly, I think say part of the reason we make me not report, not part of the way we then they socialize girls. Then they socialize girls for be subservient, that the man at the head, not for poor person. There's a whole lot of other social ways that they socialize girls. Where me in particular, if I be report, I know say something before happen because of me papa in position at the country, and before be easy for him for go there and address them. But when we think about the one day we not get older than they go cry to, it make the that particular problem the even more heinous. I'm glad the way Mr. Usman identified him as a crime. And with that, I want for ask una, waiting if una dey in a position for make recommendations of standards we need for be implemented, both in terms of how and when a school they be allowed for operate, as well as with respect to teacher education. More keep to them dey. Wetin na some of the things that we una go recommend. Mr. Osman, I'll start with you.
Yeah, in terms of, I believe, let me tell you something, Valda. The Ministry of Education has a very, very good and sound policies on paper right now. Right now, they have something very good that I've laid my eyes on it. I've seen it because they build school in my village. So I asked them give me what I need to apply to start this school. I look at the application form. I look at all the standards they wouldn't put down. I look at all the things that they look for. It's right in place. So we have the good policies. Is to implement the policies. Yeah. The applications are very clear. There's certain things they look for, certain standards, certain structure. Then they even look for if you get handicap access to your school. Can you imagine that? You got to get good drinking water, toilets, facility got to be good and functional. The environment got to be conducive, and the paint and the wall ventilations. I mean, they have the policies. So the recommendation I can recommend, let us just go with what's and getting at the books right now and enforce it. Just enforce it. And when you visit a school as an inspector and some of these things are not implemented or are not there, then you hold that school accountable. Just look at the policies that you have in place and enforce those. But again, it comes to this. If you enforce it, you shut down many schools, the kids are left with no school. So then you look at demand and supply.
The catch 22.
Now, if this school not get handicap access, should we shut it down? How many, or should we find them? How many people will suffer if we shut this school down, say they don't meet the code? Well, do they have handicap in the school? Maybe they don't have an handicapped person or physically challenged person, but the code say you should have a handicap or physically challenged access. So it's one of those things, catch 22. So the policies, like for me, I go say, they have good ones right now, and it should be implemented. But again, I believe they get to the point when they begin look, this school not get good drinking water or not get good toilet facility. But then Pikia then get 200 Pikin away need for go school. If we shut this school down, who said them 200 Pikia they go? So some of these things I believe say it play into the decisions why they allow some schools for go operative with certain facilities not available. I'm not sure. I'm just saying from a layman point of view, talking on something like an inspector of schools can go look at a school, say they're not get better window. The picking the sweat inside the classroom. Well, you get 500 picking under. So you can find the school if you get money to pay the fine, especially if it's a private school. But if it's a public school, who they fine? The government itself? Again, last stop.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kamara. Mr. Hallowell.
Yes, the first way I go recommend now the inspectorate offices they need for be strengthened and empowered for be able to do the job. And where possible, they can broaden the mandates. That you not only look at the other aspect for the other aspects of the implementation of education, but also we're looking at the structures, we're looking at the curriculum, we're looking at some of them things that we may get the talk about just now. Enforcement, the rules and regulations, the way they already they if schools or school authorities them or school management them, they follow then codes they are. Here in the US, we all know they can shut the school down. They don't mind they move all the picking in online, but they have to make sure see if that structure they not safe, nobody will go there. And I know as I talk to you, as you don't I can identify over 3 structures there. These are mighty structures there, where they shut down just for the safety of the students there. Yes. Inside Delaware County, we day. They shut them down. Big structures there. We get more than 500. They move and go online and they make sure they shut them. Like one, now water problem. These asbestos pipe. So then don't them and say it circulate lead, and lead they affect
The mind.
the minds. We're thinking. So they shut them down. They're about to change all the pipes. Then a couple of them schools and then they shut down. But again, we don't talk on this now. We not get the infrastructure for say we'll shut down the school, and then we'll give them the government give them a correctional plan how the school get for run online for a couple of weeks. Say they waiting safe. Schools say no one picking and they don't want to see laptop. They don't want to see laptop, they don't want to see desktop, they don't want to touch them. Now luxury, now Sierra Leone. So some schools then they say if you supply them with desktop and laptop, the teachers they take it home. If the teachers are not taken home, what is them go do? Some go keep them unnecessarily for letting touch and set no problem. So we get series of things we'll get for change people in minds. And him said me they look at the possibility, say, we'll get for try for explore a lot about online education. I don't even know if it happen among the universities in Sierra Leone. When me they do my masters now, I get some classes then they throughout the semester. Now online are they take them. You see, so we want for recommend for begin look at the possibility for introduce for strengthening online education at Sierra Leone and make sure say we not only they spend money unnecessarily, but we get the benefit of the money we spend for make sure say we school the environment, we school and structures, then look better for enhanced education within the 21st century. But if you look at the school structures there, they're still there way back into the 17th or 16th centuries. Then at the reality, I tell you that. So we get to watch into all of these things and make sure say we not only they look at other aspects of education, but look everything, instructions, management, resources, all of these things we need to address them in a comprehensive way for meaningful impact, educational output or gain na Sierra Leone. If not to that, once when you touch one side and as you don't address the one side on broke. As you go back to your church and one side on broke. You know how work that way. You need a comprehensive plan.
Yeah.
Where you get to make sure say it's simplified to such an extent that schools say when they hold them, there's no need for bringing another consultant again for come be down to them. But every teacher, every part of school management for able to understand that plan and know saying that this, and then for able to know how for all educational management there or education management there or school management there, and for able to know how to hold them responsible and make sure say they follow within the them plan there, they follow the implementation of education as Sierra Leone. I think that way will help me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hallowell. Indeed, you look like say Salone, we get a lot for work on, but myself not believe say it's insurmountable. The issues they're not insurmountable. Now, something where we just get for approach step by step, take one aspect at a time and deal with them. One final thing we are just one for talk about, where una been they talk about the inspectorate and make them they be empowered for go out and perform their role. Um, we get this pervasive mindset na salon where then they talk say who side and tie cow na they eat. So we send their inspector they are go out for let them go do this inspection them. Then go find a number of infractions. Then they go first. I know they say this is what is happening, but I mean, when you think about salon and the way things they work, then go mention unto the principal. Say, okay, now this and this and this we see. Um, the principal and the inspector make some plan where this finding no get for go before, but the inspector in pockets go down a be small pass how we been time when he reach there. Um, I just I just think out loud in terms of the far-reaching effects of this kind of mindset. Let me discuss them a little bit around how we go overcome then kind of thing there for try for establish a better education system Nasaron. Let's start with you, Mr. Hallowell.
Yeah, Daniel, I want to answer on two fronts. And realistically, I know of that parable, but and again, given who we are, we want help with country. We want let things in progress. We don't want forbid this person all the time we they criticize. Because all the time you criticize and get for ask you what you self they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that comes with you love for your country, you love for your job, sincerity, integrity. Because if we watch, not to all man and they pay million, then get for pay like the president, we not get that kind of economy. But they expect say we need few faithful and good men and women that when they give you a task for perform, a task like for monitor, what's in they happen. Now any school or academic institution, you for able execute your mandate judiciously and without partiality and without bribery. If they send me to Salwell as a school inspector, I see 10 cracks, I for write 10 cracks in there. I see whose side problem then did down, I for able write them. Now, so again, I contribute for the love for my community, the love for my countrymen, the love for my school picking, the love for my country. Not for just to say no more, well, as I want Ben to, hey, pa, no go report this. If you go for go report this, no problem for we. So, but there for you all this. But the problem remains unsolved.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So therefore, we need for create way how would the whole inspectors them accountable to. Not for just left them at the system. When they go any side for good inspection, how we able know say at this particular day and time, this problem don't they exist? Who that come, who can do this monitoring, who's kind report we right? And once you me known as Sierra Leone, we know they read reports. We not get patients for read reports. All that are because of the falling standards of the education system. So back to the question when you posed before, see how this thing don't they eat you say you see how they affect you now. It don't go to an extent that it even affects with performance. Because when they give report for read, you just put on a table. You know the reader. You just lay and they no more. You're supposed to read that report and follow up. and no say things can get done. Yeah, you know, get mine. If they give you something, you get for follow up. If you don't follow up, then will come after you. And when they come after you, can be bad. You see, so we got to make sure say not only for the tiger on they will eat, no, but what about the responsibility we get for protect people there, picking in lives, picking education, picking in future. We get to make sure say we follow up. We know we able to get huge amounts of money. Yes, I can also advocate say no we able to get encouraging incentives. We for able make we able do the job then without any problem. But again, in the absence of them, looking at the economy as inside a day at this state, we go for wait say every time no more and for go and collect money, then people put picking in lives at risk, put picking in future and their education at in peril. No, we're not supposed to do that. Let we make sure say we are the kind of people then where they work hard, whether we salary go to that level or not. For the mere fact we don't agree and take the job, let we do the job judiciously.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hallowell. Mr. Kamara.
Valda, that question goes across each spectrum in Sierra Leone, not only school inspectors, from police, military, immigration, border patrol, I mean, all across the country. That na a statement where if I now believe was made by the former president long time ago. Outside the entire country, they eat. Then it encourage bribery, it encourage corruption, it encourage low performance, it encourage the country for go bien. So such mindset to be transformed, we need for individually say, I love Sierra Leone so much so that I not go circumvent the process. But again, you're going against a mammoth of embedded culture wherein they do the reverse psychology by you. Hey, boy, you want to see we school and short and down? Hey, boy, you say if you not go left this one now, hey, but then they make you feel bad like as if you're the one destroying their school when in the first place they did not do what they're supposed to do as an institution. So now the salon mentality, Dandy. Now like what in the go now? Left 110, let it finish no. So this is the culture. Are they gonna checkpoint? Somebody was supposed for secure me security or make sure I'm safe. Hey, brother, how would they call water safe not the pass? I said, hey, they're not they pay you. Really? And let alone maybe you see something like a contraband. Hey, boy, pass you get something. I don't go some side for go get certificate. Then say lights don't go. They need light. You know it's not they need light? Maybe 2 board when at 20 leons. You know, the generator, the lights are right away. You know, so this is like embedded culture. So the inspector will go inspect, emit the infraction that is particular institution, then go beg them and they make themselves feel bad to the point where if you not take bribe safe, it go come out of that school because they think say, well now if I shut this school down, then say me a bad person. And let alone with the culture of witchcraft. Yeah. Now they want to go kill that inspector because I don't come well the school. And I enjoy people they do. Now they say I can't shut this school down. Now all man they look at now with that eye. You understand? So now the salon culture they tell you so. Inside is the right thing. Where you want to do the right thing, then go demonize you. Then go make you look like the bad guy, even though you're not the good guy. Anyway, now culture where God get for change, we mindset them. And we the individual, now you first get to be true to yourself as a Sierra Leonean. Say, if you're in that position, what will you do? How would you handle it? But the forces will be coming at you. And it will come to you, and go. Anyway, let me stop.
Thank you. Well, I think say we don't reach the end of we time, and I want to say thank you very much for a lively discussion. And I want to give Una all two an opportunity for come back on and say goodbye to we viewers and listeners. Mr. Hallowell.
Yes, Famulem. Again, we want to tell una thank you una spare time for listening to we and the conversation. Una knows how education is important. Una know how education meaningful. And again, we want to tell Dr. Richard Conte plenty thank you because I give you this opportunity. And we appreciate una bring kind of on a palo them. Una bring kind of on our minds. Una not forget them. Una not forget them. It mean good and it mean well for Sierra Leone. And we look forward for seeing us soon. We will come forward. Una good night.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hallowell. Mr. Kamar.
Me famulem, I tell una thank you. I tell the Unifier thank you for allowing for this program, Unifier Hour. We always look forward to talking to una and just let we out the rub skin and talk and know unify we country. I tell una thank you for listening. Again, next week, the Unifier Hour, supported by Dr. Richard Conte. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, with viewers, with listeners, and thank you for hanging there with we. Again, indeed, this platform now, courtesy of the Unifier, Dr. Richard Conte, we get a very, very strong heart for in people them. In of himself now being educator. So I know say if you been get the opportunity for day with we right now, when I mean for your a whole lot more. I know say education are one of the things that we're very, very dear to in heart. But by God power, we go get him on the show again soon when he done with some of the more important issues where he dey deal with right now. I want to say thank you again to the viewers, to the listeners. Una have a good night, have a good day, and enjoy the rest of una day as the case may be. Me Navalda Kai Kai. Thank you.